All right, let's get into option number one. Now, first, to make sure you know that you are doing option number one, you are going to be up here where you see it says copy base, and you'll be looking at the base that you got an email from, and I'll have today's date on it. Now, if you're not doing this every day, and you got a bunch of emails from us, and you want to get to the most recent data, I would use whatever the closest date is, right? Use today's date if you got it today, or use yesterday's. And this will come out, like I said in the last video, it'll come out Monday through Friday. So this will be what it looks like, and let me go over it in a little more detail than you saw in the welcome video. So at the top here, you'll see these are called, these tabs are also called tables. So we've got super flips, we've got diamond flips, platinum price drops, we've got an instructional video, so you don't need to go back and look at the other one if you just want a quick video on how best to use this, or if you forgot or need a reminder, you can just click there. And then we've got the a link to the profit calculator on Amazon, and I'll show you that in a little while. So in this video, we're going to spend probably most of our time on super flips. We have other videos on using diamond flips and platinum price drops and super flips using option number two. But in this video, we're going to talk about option number one. Now, let me just say this about option one. If you recall in the first, in the welcome video, that we've got that diagram, and a lot of people in this business, they copy and paste something into a spreadsheet. And what a lot of customers have said to me is, I've got this system, I've been doing it for a long time, I like doing it this way, it works for me. I said, okay, great. They said, just show me, I just want the data, let's just keep it simple. So that is what we're doing in this option. So if you're new to selling on Amazon, maybe you start with this option and then you go to option number two as you grow a little bit. But I really encourage you to watch the other videos. It's gonna be a lot more benefit to you so you can understand. But I'm gonna show you real quick in this video how you can find books and how you can use option one without having to do anything to do with option two. So option one is a little easier, I would say. Less to learn, at least initially. All right, so starting off with super flips. Now, and we do have other videos, by the way. We're going to talk about basic strategy for buying books. We're not going to get into that too much in this video. I'm also going to talk more about using Airtable. So if you remember in your welcome video, I talked about like front loading the training, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to not get into a tremendous amount of detail. Some of you don't even need that maybe, but we do have that additional and detailed training in future videos. But I'm going to go touch upon a lot of it in this video. So, all right, so we are on the super flips table. Now you can see these are called views. When I just clicked on there, these are called views in Airtable, and we've got all these views. Each one of these is a view, and you can see 8 of them are labeled search 1 through 8. So in option one, we cannot create new views. That's something you can do in option two. But in option one, what we can do, though, however, is we can use any of these, but we can also create a temporary view. What I mean by that is you can sort and filter however you like using search number 8, and I'll show you that in a minute. But let me go over the data in here so you understand. All right, so the first column is the ASIN. So I wonder if everyone knows what an ASIN stands for. I think it stands for the Amazon, I forget, search identification number, maybe? It doesn't matter, but it's an identifier for Amazon. And typically for books, the ASIN is also equal to the ISBN. And the ISBN, every book, I think after 1970, 71 has to have an ISBN. There's a 10-digit and a 13-digit. So that matches up with Amazon because Amazon started off selling books. The ASIN is the 10-digit ISBN. Now, in some cases, you're going to find an ASIN that does not have an ISBN. It'll start with the letter B, and I'll show you that in this video. And that's kind of a neat way too, where you can find books that you're really highly unlikely to be restricted on. I'll show you that. All right, so that's Amazon's ASIN. Now I've got a link to the lowest price on Amazon, the lowest prime price. Then we've got the title of the book, And by the way, you can, with your mouse, you can drag and open up, and if you want to read more or less of any of these, you can make them wider or narrower as you see fit. We've got the current sales rank, we've got the 30-day average sales rank, the 90-day average sales rank, the Amazon new price. If it's available, it'll be there. We've got the lowest new price. In some cases that will be the Amazon price, but usually that's the lowest new price. We've got the lowest used. That means the lowest used price overall. And by the way, that does not include rentals. We don't have anything to do with rentals in here. So that's the lowest used price for a particular book, which, by the way, it could be a prime price. Normally, I'd say 99% of the time it is not. It's a merchant fulfilled price. We've got the number of used offers. We've got the trade-in value, if Amazon has a trade-in. And I will tell you, as I make this video in early May, I believe due to COVID-19, Amazon had suspended their trade-ins, I think around March or April. They're not doing it anymore. That's why you don't see any data in there. When they start doing it again, we'll have the data in there as they supply it. But I suspect that they just stopped doing it. I don't recall that they really advertised that to anybody, but we've been doing trade-ins for a long time, and they've stopped doing that. We've got the weight of the weight of the book, and we've got the lowest FBA price. Now, you notice they're not all filled in. There are two reasons for that. Number one is Amazon doesn't supply us with all the lowest FBA prices, and that's in one instance. And the second thing is if it's not even available, there is none. And so that will be blank. But I will tell you, around 70-75% of the books you find in the Super Flips will have the lowest FBA populated. And that's a good thing, and it's also a really good thing when it's not populated, right? You can find really profitable books even when the lowest FBA price is not populated. All right, next we've got price gap. So the price gap is the difference between the lowest FBA price and the lowest used price. So typically what online book flippers want to do, they want that to be as big as possible, right? Usually that means if there's a big price gap, that means there's big profit potential there, and it's worth investigating. So if the price gap is blank, that just means that there's no FBA, no lowest FBA price available. So date added, the date added should usually, or will, unless we made a mistake, it should match the date that you see at the top here. So this was dated 4/30. Now this video is this data is a little bit old, but that's okay for this purpose. We'll go through it. All right, now status of new. Now we're not using in option 1. We're not going to go through all the statuses. That's sort of the workflow and the life cycle of how you manage your books, and that gets into that is discussed in more depth in option 2. But for option 1, there's nothing to know about it. It's just there. It's a new book that we haven't looked at yet. And then we've got the estimated profit and estimated ROI. So the estimated profit and ROI, now if you see that it's 0, I will tell you that does not mean there's no profit in there. In fact, it could show a low profit and still could be a very profitable book. You would need to look at the data yourself and see. And there's several reasons why that could be. Let me give you one real quick example. Let's say there's no profit because let's say there's the lowest used prices are $10. And then there's one low FBA price. They're pricing it at $15.99. And this does happen, right? So right there you would say, well, there's no profit. Well, what I didn't tell you is that both of those guys are priced way too low, and all the other FBA sellers are selling the book for $40 or $50. And that's the way it's been. And these two guys have gotten into a price war, or something has happened. They're just priced too low. And we see those types of things all the time, and we really exploit them with the platinum price drops. So just because it doesn't mean that you don't see a potential profit there doesn't mean that's not a profitable book, okay? But we try to put it out there to make it really easy for you to find the ones, and then you can go above and beyond and start searching the other ones and really help fuel your inventory that way. All right, and MBF source. So MBF is Master Book Flippers source, and these are all super flips. So in case you were you don't want to look at the top, it'll say super flips, and this does have another use when you do option 2. An estimated ROI. I forgot about that. So the estimated ROI, that works with the profit. And what is your ROI on the book? Okay, so and by the way, the profit and the ROI, we do take into account all the FBA fees when you see these numbers out there. Again, what it doesn't take into account, the other expenses you would have with specific to one particular book would be if you have a prep center, and you always have to, we have to pay Amazon. We're shipping the books into Amazon, and that'll, usually that's not too much. So, but other than that, it gives you a real good idea. Let's find some books. All right, so let's jump in. I'm gonna go with search number 1. Now, just as a reminder again, you really don't want to use this first one. It says copy to your base, right? So that is for option 2. You just want to click on some of these searches. Let's do number 1, estimated profit. So when you click on these, you're going to see some different fields. Now, if you notice, now we see the lowest price and the lowest prime price. Those were not available to you in this view. So that's why we want you to use these, okay, to make it a little easier for you. All right, so we can scroll over to the right, and we can see, I was somewhere in the middle. All right, so this one says an estimated profit of $188. Wow, okay, so we need to look at it. And keep in mind, so these are, these are not diamond flips. We would need to look at them. I have not looked at these books before. So to look at the book on Amazon, you would click on this. This will be the low price, and it'll pop up for you. And let me go back and let me click on the prime price. So I usually like to have the low price on the left. All right, let's take a look at this book. Wow, okay. Wow, this book, okay, so I'm going too quick already. I know I am, I have to slow down. All right, so these are the low prices. Now the low price is the lowest price is $165.77. And I have to just look now, what was this? Okay, so it was, when we published this, it was $123. So you could have bought this book for $123. Now I know that's a lot of people, that's a lot of money, right? I've spent a lot more than that on one book, but yes, this is an expensive book because we sorted it by estimated profit. Now I'm going to show you, just stay tuned, on how you can avoid, you say, I don't want to spend that much money on a book. I get it. And we can change the criteria so you don't see a book this expensive. But this one is interesting. So the lowest books are $165.77, and the lowest prime is $379. It's a very expensive book. Now keep in mind, we're not going to go into the details of whether or not we should buy this book or not. I'm going to have another video on that in your video library. You'll have a video where we'll talk more about that. But if you were to buy the book, and you can see what the difference is. Now, here's what option 1 doesn't do. I think I may have mentioned this already. You can't input data into option 1, but for many people that's fine. They know, or they just can use what I'm going to show you right now is the profit calculator and figure it out real quick. So if you wanted to know what the profit was, now we're telling you the estimated profit was 188. So this is an awful lot, right? If you were to buy it. The lowest FBA was 379. That was on 430, and we could have bought the book for 123. Now we're going to have to pay more money, 165.79. So if we wanted to see what is our profit, what I would do is you would copy the ASIN, and you would click on profit calculator, and then click on this link. And you need to be signed into your Amazon seller account, by the way, to get to this. And you'll paste it. And now you'll just put in your figures, and you're going to want to put them under Amazon fulfillment, unless for some reason you wanted to do this merchant. But as I think you know, this program that we have is really more geared towards FBA. So we were going to sell it. Let's say we were selling it at $379. Was it $379.99? Yep. And let's say we bought it at $165.79. I think I will take the like new condition. $165.79. And then you hit calculate, and you can immediately see, wow, so this is a $150 profit. But if you're going to buy it at that price, which right now as I make this video, I could purchase this book for that price. And the good news is that book is considerably lower than the other offers out there. So that is kind of a good signal. And then you could match this price other like new condition or sell it even cheaper. But this book, this book did sell. You can see it sold for in October for $116. That was the lowest price. So this book is an expensive book, obviously. So anyway, that's how you would go ahead and buy the book, and you would be good to go. All right, let me focus a little bit about. So that's the way it would work for all these, and you could see how many books. Now this is the Pro plan I have, so you get 3,400 books a day. And by the way, there are no duplicates in the Super Flips, right? Each one of these books is separate. But let me show you some of the other searches, because I don't want you to get hung up with just on one search. There's so many different ways you're going to find profitable books, even just by using Super Flips. All right, let's go by ROI. So we know, okay, some of these are expensive when we go by largest profit. Let's go by largest estimated ROI. So it's one click, and you can see. So there's an 800% ROI on this one particular book. It's probably gone or something's going on. That is very, very high. Usually we don't find books that with that great of a profit and ROI, but you never know. So let's check it out. So when we posted this, we could buy this book for $9.25, the lowest used, and we could sell it for $149.45 was the lowest FBA. Let's see if that's still true. It is not true. All right, a little bit more expensive, $13.95, acceptable, and the lowest FBA is $149. Wow. All right, so this is a gigantic price gap. So that quickly you're gonna do real well. Now the profit was, or this one was sorted by, or so the estimated ROI was over 800% with $100.07 profit. So the good news about this book though is that this is a big price gap between this price and these next few prices. Then it starts to jump up to $60. So you could buy this book for $13.95 and you sell it for $59. You'd be doing well. So it's that quick to find books, right? So you can be more selective, right? You've heard me say that, but you really, really can, where you can narrow it down. Let me go to another search. All right, let's go to number 4 before we jump to 3. Number 4, what number 4 is showing us, you see how this column here, the lowest FBA is blank? What that means is that Amazon did not supply the FBA offer. And what it means is that's why you don't see a profit in ROI. But that does not mean that it's not a profitable book. We need to check it out. Now, keep in mind, if you watch some of our promotional videos, I've talked about curating our data. So what I mean by that is, you're not going to find a ton of, you'll occasionally might run into a really bad apple, but it doesn't happen too often because the prices do change, right? I don't control anyone can change the price at any given moment, and that does happen. But what you don't see in our database is like Amazon selling a new book at $16. Because that's not a flippable book. Even if you were to get it for free, it's, maybe you'd make $1 or $2, if that. So those types of books are not really found. So when you look at these books, there is always the potential that it's profitable. So we're going to look. So again, this is search number 4. The lowest FBA offers are not shared, so we don't know. So we're going to go in and look. So let me kill those other 2 tabs. Let me click on the lowest price and lowest prime. Okay, so here we go. So we do have, so these are the prime prices. You can see that there are a bunch of prime prices, but Amazon didn't share it with us. And you can buy these books around $50 with tax, and maybe you sell it for $70. Probably not enough for me. That's probably a little bit of profit. And if you wanted to figure it out, we could use the profit calculator again. It's a tab you could just keep open, and you could plug in the numbers and see. But as you gain experience, you're going to know, what's profitable and what is not profitable. But you always want to obviously check it out before you make your purchase. So that's not a book that I would buy. Whoops. All right, let's look. But it is a good. But you did notice that the FBA prices are available. They just didn't show that to us. Let me close those out too. Let me just look at the next one. Whoops, I'm in the wrong view. I should be in number 4. And by the way, this is sorted. Oh, this is just sorted by title. And you could resort it. I'm going to show you how to sort and filter in a little bit. All right, I'm going to go for the second one. Till Death Do Us Part. Oh, Till Death. This is a novel. I don't think that novels don't make you money. I purchased the same novel, and I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it was a movie. 42 times I think I bought and resold it. Yep, very consistent. All right, so this is terrible. This one's terrible. See, if this one's terrible because the lowest FBA price is $7.95. So if Amazon was sharing their data with us, then this would not have appeared. But we can't help it when we don't know what it is. So this is a book. Although you can buy it for $4, that's or $5. That's about the cheapest you're going to buy a book these days. But you can always look at the chart. There are times when, just because there's not a big price gap, if you can't anticipate that sales are going to go up, or that somebody is just priced way too low, sometimes those are really good bargains. You can look on my Facebook page where I pointed that out, and it paid off. We called it back in November of 2019. But that happens all the time. I just made that video just to show people. All right, let's go to another one. Now let's go to option number 3. Is an interesting one. It's very similar to 4, but it's it's not showing us the lowest FBA prices, but the bonus is that there aren't many used offers. So therefore, there's a good probability that there are very few other sellers selling the book, FBA sellers. Let's take a look. This is prime. This is lowest. Okay, so we can buy this book at $377 plus $4 shipping. And there are no FBA offers. Look at that. Wow, this is a really good book. This is what I'm talking about. These guys are probably priced too low. You got 2 guys priced very low, and then the price goes all the way up to $47. So you could buy it and list it at $47, and you'd be priced well below even other sellers, well, merchant sellers, and do well with it. So that, if you're buying a bunch of books, you have to go to search number 3. Okay, you are going to find deals like this left and right, and this is a good deal. So I don't know when you're watching this video. It probably won't be available at the time, but you never know. You never know. So that's a good example. Let me go to the next one and just see. So the lowest one, wow, this is an expensive book. Fundamentals of Acoustics. All right, so it's $96. There's only one seller, and that's Amazon Prime, new. So here's where you get it a lot. Oftentimes, if you were to sell this book or try selling this book used, whatever the price, $160, let's say, sellers go in, they want Prime. They just filter Amazon. They just filter their thing and say, I want to look for this book Prime, and guess what? It's a bargain at $169, used in very good condition, as opposed to spending $220 new from Amazon. Okay, really good example. So that's the power of using search number 3. And these are the type of books where I tell you, you send them on into Amazon, and these are the ones that sell real quick. Why? Because you don't have any competition, right? There's no other FBA competition, and in some people's minds, that's what they want. Definitely keep, my suggestion in all of this is not just mix it up. Don't go with one particular strategy. Definitely mix it up. Okay, let me go over 5. So number 5, I mentioned this earlier, it's a price gap. So this column you see highlighted, price gap. So these are where there's a gigantic price gap between the lowest price and the lowest FBA. And some of these will be mixed in with the profit and with the other searches, but it's just a good way. One of our customers, this is his favorite thing, is to use the price gap. That's what they want, day in and day out. So we got that. Now I created this other searches. Let's say you wanted an average sales rank that's below 350,000. You could click on that, and now you're looking at, and by the way, I'm talking about 90-day average sales rank below 350,000, and then it is sorted by profit. Okay, and you can see that here, or estimated profit. And then we want to go even lower, less than 150,000. You can click that, and there would be your books there that are less than 150,000. So let me just re-emphasize here, when you see, especially when you start to go low, don't think that these books are not profitable, because oftentimes the lower the average sales rank, the faster the book sells, and the less likely you want to be the lowest seller on the FBA list. Sometimes you want to be higher. Sometimes you want to be, sell 5 levels up or even more, depending if it's a textbook and you're heading into textbook season. So just keep in mind, the estimated is kind of the bare minimum, estimated based upon the data, but if you're going to price higher, you're going to make more, and prices change, things like that. So definitely just consider that. Just remember that it's an estimate, and I would look at it further. Let's go ahead and look at one though. So these books are selling a little bit faster. This one, I'm looking at the top one. All right, so $36 profit, 85% ROI, but what I want to focus on is the lowest FBA price and the lowest used. So this is saying I can buy it for $38 and sell it for almost $98. Let's check it out. Close these two, prime price, lowest. Okay, look at this. So this is an example, I mentioned this earlier. So we've got somebody here that's selling at the lowest price, and they're a prime at $77. So that price is long gone of $38, right? So this is what happens. This super flip, this has been out for a little bit, so somebody purchased that up and has locked in some profit. So we're not going to make money on this one, I don't think. Yeah, look, and these prices are same. So we got that guy selling at 77, and he should probably be priced a little bit higher. And then it jumps up to 90, but there's not enough profit there. I don't even need to go check it out. I know that is not enough profit for us to make money with that book. But, this is a good example. If you had the super flips and jumped on it that day, you could have got it, at $38, and you would have locked in the profit. And this book moves rather quickly. And the good thing is, I like to keep Amazon up here because it gives you confidence that, hey, this is an expensive book. Amazon's selling it new, and they've been selling it new for a long time. It was 170, now it's over 200. So it gives you confidence that it is an expensive book. Okay, let's go to a couple others. All right, let's go to the custom filter. So I'm going to show you how to do sorting and filtering. So first, I guess so now it's wide open. Anything that you've seen on here, we've got, current sales rank, 30-day, 90-day average, lowest used. You can sort and filter by all of those things, right? You can, and there's no other tool no other arbitrage tool that I know of that can do the types of sorting and filter that we can do. One of the ones I would show you, but we can't because we don't have trade-ins. One of the things people like to do is they use trade-ins as a little bit of a lead. And maybe when you're watching this video, the trade-ins will come back. But what you could do is say, if Amazon is giving a trade-in at a certain dollar value, show me those books, and also show me only when the average sales rank is X, and only show me books that are, less than $80. So all that you can do in one search. All right, let's do one I mentioned earlier. Let's say, hey, look, I don't want to spend a ton of money. I'd rather buy a bunch of inexpensive books. All right, let's get back to what we said. We want to look for used books that aren't too expensive. And let's say we want, we don't care about the average sales rank for this one. So I'm going to put in a filter. So you're going to go up here and you see filter. So I'm going to filter it. And you've got this, it says, these are all the fields, right? So everything you see here matches up here unless it's hidden. But we want to find books that are not expensive. So what we want to look for is the used price. So lowest used. So we're going to click on that. And now we're going to click right here. And, we're looking for a dollar amount, so we're not going to go equals, right? Unless we wanted books, for some reason, you only wanted books that cost $22.15. Then you would use that. You wouldn't use that. You're going to want to either go less than or greater than, or less than or greater than or equal to, or is empty or not empty. We're not going to use those. We're going to say is less than. That's what we're trying to do. And let's say we're going to go less than $15. I'll put in 15. And it's that quick. You don't have to click any other buttons, and it doesn't. And it did, we had 3,400 books. It just in a split second, we're down to 1,995 records. It filtered them down, and now none of these books you see are, what did I say, 15? Yeah, they're less than $15, every last one of them. Okay, and then what you can do is, let's remember the price gap, right? Let's say I want to look at price gap from, I'm sorting. We just filtered, now we're going to sort. So we're going to sort from highest to lowest. So now we're going to click on sort, and we're going to click right here, and we're going to look for price gap. Now you can scroll down and look for it. I don't like doing that. I like to do things quickly. So you can just start typing in PRIC, and there it is. It's right at the top now, price gap. All right, so that's just a tip. It doesn't matter. You could go like this and just look for it. Here it is, and click on it. And now, which way do we want to go? We want to go from biggest to smallest, right? So we'll hit 9 to 1. And there we go. So now the data is sorted and filtered. We're only looking at books that are less than $15. And we're only looking at books that, and they're sorted, sorry, by largest to smallest price gap. And you can just look over here to the estimated profit and ROI, and we just found a whole bunch of good books that are flippable, right? You can see they're cheap. A lot of these have an ROI over 100%, some of them over 200%. So that is how you do the custom filter. Really, really powerful. And you can add on additional filters on top of this. So let's say, okay, you gave me over 1,995. I want to even be more picky. So we're going to add on another filter. Click here, and we're going to add another filter. It says, I want an average sales rank, or a 90-day average sales rank that is between two numbers, 150,000 and 300,000. Now, I'm not telling you that's the sweet spot, right? We find books in all ranges, but you can do that here. So we're going to say where the average sales rank greater than 150,000, cut it down a little bit, and we're going to add on another one, and it's less than, we're going to type in 90, where it's less than 350,000. All right, so now we're down to 256 books. All right, now you can take it even another step further. If you added on enough filters, you're not going to have any results, right? That'll happen with any database, right? Now let's say you wanted to go where the ROI was greater than 75%. So the estimated ROI greater than 75. There you go. And now you've got we've got 7 books. So that's how we've weeded down that many, 3,400 books down to these exact ones that you might want to look at to buy. Okay. Now to take off the filter, you would just click right here, and you see these X's. You can just click. You can start at the top if you want to clear them all, and just click them all that quickly. And now it's unfiltered. When you see that it looks like this, where it's just completely white, that means you're looking at everything in the base. There's 3,400 books in here. Okay, so if you recall earlier, I had mentioned about restricted books, and now I'm going to show you a tip that is going to work for almost anyone in finding books that you are highly unlikely to be restricted on. Now let's look at the ASIN column over here. So if you recall earlier, the ASINs are for books, they're 10 digits, and there are usually the ISBN, but every once in a while, you can see one right here, we have this book that begins with the letter B. So these books have been entered in by someone without using the ISBN into Amazon's catalog, and as a result, nearly everyone should be not restricted on selling these books in used condition. So what we want to do is we want to find them and find them all without having to scroll down and look through all these 3,400 books. I just want to find the ones with B because I know I can probably sell those no matter what. So here's what we can do. we are going to go, make sure you go to over here. We're going to go to search 8, the custom filter. And we're going to place a filter on here. Click filter, add filter, and we're going to go with the first one. That's ASIN. That's what we want. And we want the contains, and all we need to do is put in the letter B. And there we go. Now we're only looking at all these books. And if you're brand new to selling on Amazon, what you might want to do is pause the video and look up and see if you can sell these. I'm very certain that you can. If you find that the vast majority that you cannot sell, I am telling you, you unfortunately are not going to be able to do online book arbitrage to the success in which I would wish for you. So I don't think that's going to happen to many people though. So you should feel confident that you can sell these books. Now we can take it a step further. We filtered those books. We're going to group them. We're going to sort them. And we're going to pick a sort field. We're going to go with the estimated profit. So we'll look that up. Here it is. And we want to go from largest to smallest, and we can scroll on over and see what our results are. And we've got a bunch of books there that here you go, that you can see that are profitable, that you could sell. All right, so that's a quick tip on finding books that you can are highly unlikely that you are going to be restricted on, only using Master Book Flippers. So that's a custom filter. Some other cool things you can do. I don't know why you would do it. Somebody will, someone's always going to want to use this a little differently. Let's say you want to buy art books. You wanted to buy a book that had the name art in the title. I don't know why you would want to do that. I guess I may have done that at one time. If you think there's going to be a run on a certain topic, maybe that's okay. So I'm going to put in filter, add a filter, and I'm going to put in title. I'm going to select title. And you don't usually, when you're searching for the title, I would use contains. Don't use is. You don't want an exact. You just want to say anything that has, and we said art. I'm going to put in art, the word art. Wow, there's a lot more than I thought. So, okay, so we got 200 books that have the word art in their title. And let's say you could even take it and put, say you wanted to learn art. You weren't interested in history. You wanted to learn it. You could also put in title, and the title also contains the word learn. Well, let's see if we come up with. All right. So there's a few. So I don't know if you want to do that, but I just want to let you know that that is one of the many filtering capabilities you can do. So you're really going to be able to find, zero in on exactly what you're looking for. If that's even needed. Like I said, we've got these 7 searches. You're going to find books really quickly. All right, now that was only super flips. And many people they start off and they jump right to the diamond flips, because the diamond flips, they're really a level above the super flips, because if you remember in the original video, we've had someone actually, we spend hours every day looking for these things, and then we show them to you. So it is pretty awesome. Now, there's obviously far less. We've got, I'm on the Pro plan, so you get 25 on the Pro plan every day. And we got a couple of cool things with them. So many of the fields are the same. I'm not going to go over them again, right? They're pretty much all the same, but a couple that are new that you don't have on the super flips is, number one, the buy condition. So that means that, hey, we looked at this book, and of the books that we saw, this is the one we would select. Now, we don't put down the seller, but we do look at the seller's, their rating, right? If they're below, I believe, 82%, we don't include them, okay? We have to draw the line somewhere. That's the line we drew. That's how we run our business. However, when I'm looking at books, there are times where I will buy from somebody who's got a 77% rating. All right, there are always exceptions to the rule, right? And when you can click on their rating, you see what's going on. Maybe they got a customer or a couple customers that gave them a bad review for no reason. That happens. A variety of things. But anyway, so that's why we put in the buy condition. And then the sales pattern. So we've got 4 different sales patterns to books that we've come up with, right? It's either a textbook. A July textbook means that it sells more around the July, August, September time frame. And that's the most of sales it has during the year. Typically, it's around that time. Textbooks, it's usually in January, and then around the same time June, July, or July, August, September. And then we got none. That might be a novel or something that, hey, it just kind of sells all year round randomly. And then we've got other. Other might have an odd pattern because it is, for example, a Christmas book or a Halloween book or whatever. Those books will tend to sell more during those times, and you'll look at their pattern and you'll see. So we'll look at a couple of these. But so we've got the buy condition sales pattern. Now, we don't include with this the lowest FBA and the price gap. It's really not necessary because they're diamond flips. And we do not have on this view, I'm looking at the, this goes the same. I probably should have started off by saying this. This view we're looking at, this is the one you would use for option 2, but let's not use that one. Let's go to search number 1. You're looking at the same data, and this is sorting it by, okay, highest profit to lowest. All right, so we got 25 books in here, and you can see, and these we've actually looked at and we've priced them out at that time and said, hey, these are books, you know, you might want to look at. These are the potential profits, and this is the ROI on these books. So these ones are saying, hey, you know, these are ones that, you know, we might buy, we would consider buying. We've weeded out, you know, we've done all the heavy lifting. You need to look at it and see for yourself. So now, same thing. You've got the largest estimated profit, largest estimated ROI. You could, right on top of this, add another filter like I just showed you. You could do that if you wanted to. All right. So I'm not going to go over the process. The process is the same. You would click on the lowest prices and you would see them on Amazon. And I will have a little more in-depth video on diamond flips using option 2, so you can look out for that video in your training library. All right, let's look at platinum price drops. Okay, so with platinum price drops, we've got 4 views searches set up. So same sort of thing. This top view is for using it with option 2, the full flip method. So we're going to be using these searches, searches 1 through 4. And when you see this video there, or when you actually see this, there may be a 5th one on there that just says custom on there, and we'll create that later. But for right now, there's not too many. There's only 50 in platinum price drops if you're on the Pro. I believe you get 20 or 25 if you're on the Plus. So we don't share on this one the lowest FBA prices. We have instead what we have, which is really valuable though, is how much this book has dropped. So a platinum price drop is a book that has, you know, recently, within the past few hours of us sending this to you, we're saying, hey, you may want to look at this book because the book just dropped in price by quite a bit when you compared it to something that happened recently. So you can see if you just look at the days, it's always within, I think it's within 12 days what we do. So the most might see is 12 days. So a lot of these are in less than a week, you can see. So you want to see, you know, let's look at the second one, for example. So this second book, it seemed to drop, $6 is not a lot, but percentage-wise, it was 265%. But it might be one we'd want to look at. So let's just look at it real quick. All right, so this is a low-price book, though. It's $18.79. All right, so here was the price drop, though. You can see right here. So this is why that it was $8, and then it went down to $2.20. So, and now the price has probably gone up a little bit. Yeah, no, they're still pretty cheap books, but that's a less expensive book. So let's just pick out any old one here. Real Analysis. I don't know what that's about. Okay, so this might be because up here the price dropped. Yeah, let me go back and see here. Yeah, the criteria we have is at least $10 price drop. I would like to see if I were looking at this, I would have picked a different one. Not that there's anything wrong with this one. Let me see. Wow. Okay, so yeah, I'm telling you that, but looking at it, you could buy this book at $42, and the lowest price is $69. So this is a profitable book. It's not the best price drop out there, though. Right? I mean, look at this one. This one dropped from $3 by $50 or $49.97 and 100% drop. So this one should be a little more significant. Let me close those other ones down. Let me look at this book. Oh, this is an expensive book. Wow, how is that possible? The $100 Prime is the lowest price book. What is this book about? I don't know. It's amazing what some of these books would go for. All right, so here's what happened here. So someone might have bought this book. So this book was selling along for right around $100 for months, and the price dropped down to $49, and someone did buy it. Maybe it was a Master Book Flippers customer. I do not know. And then the price jumped right back up. So obviously, the platinum price drops is something you want to jump on quickly, because they are some of the best bargains. And I will tell you, my best flip in 2019 came from a platinum price drop. And maybe I'll touch upon that in the video where we talk more exclusively about platinum price drops. All right, so that is just a quick overview. I think I've covered everything on how you're going to do it, but you should be able to know that you can find these books very, very quickly using option 1. All right, and these are some of the things you can expect to see in our future video for option number 2, the full flip method. The first one I've already mentioned. You're going to be able to create and save your own searches. There'll be no limit, and the great part is you really just need to set that up once, and then you'll just click on your search and you'll be able to find all the books in one view in the order in which you want to see them and filtered the way you like. Next, you'll be able to populate the purchase price and selling prices of the books that you've purchased or that you're looking to purchase, and that will in turn automatically populate the profit and ROI as you adjust your pricing. The other thing that's not put in here is you can put in Prep Center. If you have a Prep Center fee, you can actually put in those fees, and those can be accounted as well. So you really got you covered with the profit and ROI on that one, and you will not need to use the Amazon profit calculator as I demonstrated in this video. The fourth bullet down is track your inventory. So you're going to be able to track all your inventory. If you purchase the book, you're going to get an order number from Amazon. You'll put that in, and you'll be able to track your inventory, that you've purchased it and that you've received it. And if you're using a Prep Center, that the Prep Center's received it, and all those things to be tracked. And next, the break-even calculator. So this one's pretty big. A lot of people they run this business and they don't really know their break-even prices of their books. It's really not that easy to figure out. So we have it figured out for you, though. We have a tool that you can use, and the full flip method takes advantage of that, and you'll be able to know the break-even price on all your inventory in just a few minutes. And next, you'll be able to upload your inventory to Amazon. So every time you're doing your shipment, you've got to upload inventory. You don't need to pay for a third-party tool. We have it all built into the full flip method. And there's more. So you'll have to watch that video and you'll get the full flavor of the full flip method. Thank you.